There comes a point when dating doesn't feel exciting anymore. You know what I mean? It feels exhausting. Not because you don't want connection, but because you're tired of the games, the small talk, the ghosting, the almost, and the emotional whiplash. Mine is the small talk. I can't do the small talk. I when I am on these apps, it kills me just to have the same old little back and forth about how many kids you have you been married, where do you live, where are your parents, are you close to your parents, what do you do for a living, like just all that. How's your day? Let's get off the app and let's talk on the phone. You know what I mean? That's what really kills me, the small talk. And then the ghosting. I've shared this with you guys before. I thought the ghosting was a kid thing, but it's not, because even people my age do it. And it's crazy. If you're listening to this thinking, man, I'm tired, but I'm not bitter, this episode is for you. So buckle up. Because being tired of dating doesn't mean you've failed. It might mean you're finally getting honest. Let me preface this episode and tell you that I'm still there. This is stuff that I still struggle with. I'm not perfect at it. There are some days where you're on these apps and you feel like, I may have met somebody. And there are some days where I get on these apps and you're just like, I'm so over this. But what is there? What else is there? So please understand, these are things that I still struggle with, and I disappear from the apps for a few months and then I come back, and it is what it is. So I'm there with you, and I do not have it all figured out, and I hope you understand that. So I hope you enjoy this episode. Let's first acknowledge the fatigue. All right? Let's be clear. Dating burnout is very real. You can only tell your story so many times, reintroduce yourself so many times, open up just enough so many times. Raise your hand if you're tired of telling your story. I am so over telling my story. I'm so over being asked what my story is and just telling it over and over and over and then reintroducing myself. I'm so tired of it. It's just not what I enjoy doing. Not anymore. But before your soul says, enough now, that's not weakness. That's self-awareness. Too many people force themselves to keep dating because they're afraid that stopping means giving up. It doesn't. But rest is not quitting. Rest is resetting. And I have reset more times than I can count. And I'm sure you're listening or watching this saying, so have I. And you're probably watching this saying, you know what? I've deleted the apps more times than I can count. And I'm back on again. And it started out great. And now it's back in the same situation that it was. And I'm ready to delete my account. You're not alone. You're not alone. We are all dealing with it. If you're single, I honestly think if you're young, you're kind of having fun with it. But when you're my age, you're just over it. You get burnt out of it real quick. Let's talk about stop dating out of loneliness. That is a big habit that a lot of people have. I am no stranger to that. I'm human. I have dealt with loneliness, and it's not fun. Am I lonely now? No. I am alone, but I am not lonely. But I have been there, and I want you to understand that. When I talk about this topic, I'm telling you the truth. I have been there. I have dated out of loneliness, and it's never good. So let's talk about it. Here's the hard truth. If you're dating because you're lonely, you're going to settle. That is the truth. You're going to tolerate and you're going to chase validation. Loneliness makes you ignore red flags, rush intimacy, and confuse attention for connection. I looked past so many red flags, and every now and then I catch myself doing that, and I kick my own ass because I'm like, you know better than that. You know that's a red flag, and you blew right past it because you're in that mode right now where you're looking for somebody. You're like, I know I'm gonna find someone this time, and you push back past a red flag that you know you shouldn't have. And let's be honest, we're all adults here, right? We should be. We've rushed into intimacy and we think it's connection. We're just, oh man, we had a great conversation once. We hung out, it got really intimate. The connection was there. There was fireworks. And then poof, they're gone. It happens. Instead of asking, who will choose me? Ask, who am I becoming when no one is choosing me right now? Dating works best when it's in addition, not a rescue mission. So, in other words, it's in addition to whatever you got going on. So if you got a great career, you're taking care of your health, you're taking care of your spirit, you're getting into the word, and you're becoming a better person. You and your kids are in a good spot. You and your ex-wife or your ex-husband are in a great spot. When you got all these things taken care of, it should be in addition to that. And that's not easy. Again, this is something that I struggle with myself, which is why I'm talking about this topic, because I know I'm not the only one. Take a purpose pause. Let me say that again. Take a purpose pause. That's a huge thing you can do for yourself. I've done it. Sometimes dating feels heavy because your life feels misaligned. When was the last time you asked, am I proud of my daily habits? For the most part, I am. But there are still times where I go a day or two and I'm like, man, I'm slipping up. I woke up late again today. I didn't get to the gym till late. I ate something that I didn't want to eat. I drank something I shouldn't have drank. It still happens. And that's okay. But you got to get to a point where you call yourself out on it, to where you're starting to realize that, hey, I'm falling off, and you self-check yourself, put yourself back on your daily habit. When's the last time you asked, am I disciplined where it matters? Praying, not ignoring red flags, sticking to your values, all of that. Am I building a life I'd actually invite someone into? I've thought about that numerous times. Is my life right now something that I would invite somebody into? And if you don't know the answer to that, it's probably no. In fact, it is a no. Because if you can't answer that question, that means your life is not where it should be. And hey, I'm not judging. Because sometimes I look at my life and I'm like, I could tighten it up. I could tighten it up. I'm pretty easygoing. My life's not too difficult, but I could definitely tighten it up. This season might not be about finding someone. It might be about becoming someone steadier, clearer, stronger. Purpose gives dating context. Without purpose, dating feels like wandering. You ever felt like you were wandering? How many times have you sat on these dating apps and just swiped and swiped and swiped until your thumb got numb, until every image of the people looked like a blur? Just wandering. Nothing catches your eye. No bio catches your eye. Yeah, I've been there. I've been there. Rebuilding standards, not walls. Being tired of dating often leads people to build walls. Walls say no one gets in. Standards say only the right energy gets access. See the difference? A wall says no one gets in. A standard says the right energy has access. Big difference. Big difference. Standards sound like I'm not rushing into emotional intimacy. I'm watching consistency, not chemistry. That's a huge one. Pay attention to how consistent somebody is. Chemistry goes like it's great. But what is chemistry without consistency? Because I've connected with people, so many people, chemistry wise, but the consistency was so off, which is why I'm still single. I'm paying attention to actions over words. Same thing. Watch their actions because people can say anything, but their actions are what you should be watching. Are they really who they say they are? Are they really doing what they say they are going to do or want to do? I've noticed that with other people, and to be quite honest, I've noticed that with me too, where I've had intentions to do something and I didn't follow through. And that person had every right to call me out on it. I didn't follow through. And maybe you're like that as well. And guess what? You're not perfect. You're human. You're going to make mistakes. Part of becoming a better person is understanding, hey, that was my fault. I failed at that. We're all trying to figure this thing out. We're all trying to figure it out. You don't need to be cold. You just need to be clear. Some people struggle with that. Just be clear. Clear with what you're working on. Clear with what you expect. There's no reason to be cold to somebody. And a lot of people are. I've had that experience. It's almost like you ask the question, for us barely meeting, you're very cold, like we've known each other for years. What did I do to deserve this attitude you're bringing my way? I barely met you. And what I've learned is most of the time, it's not on me. It's because of the experiences they've had, whether it be on the dating apps or just in relationships in general. So they're projecting. And that happens as well. Let's shift from searching to selecting. That's something that I have to teach myself, and I have taught myself. When you're exhausted, it's usually because you're searching too hard. You find yourself going through the app all day, every day. Get a lunch break, go through the app. Get ready to go to bed, lay down in the bed, go through the app. Wake up in the morning, go through the app. On the way to work, go through the app. Downtime, go through the app. Somebody's listening and watching right now saying, I'm guilty. I'm guilty. And it's okay. Nobody's judging. I promise you I'm not judging. Everybody is going through. If you're single right now and you are on the dating apps, you're going through this. And if you say you're not, you're lying to yourself. You're lying to yourself. That's the truth. Because we've all been there. And some of us are still there. And it's okay. When you're exhausted, you're swiping, you're chasing, over-explaining, over-initiating. Been there, done that. What if instead you slow down and let life reveal people? Selection requires patience. Searching creates anxiety. You don't need more options. You need better alignment. Raise your hand if that's you, because it's definitely me. Definitely me. So use this season right here. This season you're in right now, use it. Don't waste it. This is where growth happens. Use this break to strengthen your routines. Heal what you keep carrying into relationships. Learn to enjoy your own company again, and get honest about patterns you keep repeating. When I talked about this episode on my live on TikTok, I showed everybody, I have a whiteboard right over here. I showed everybody my schedule that I have. Am I perfect at keeping it? No. But I'm pretty damn close. But I did that because I want to strengthen my routine. All right? I'm very big on that. I know I need a routine, and I do my best to try and follow it. Now, I'm a dad, and life happens when you're a dad, but I do my best. And I showed everybody that on my live because I wanted to show them that, hey, this is something that I do. This is something that I'm working on. And I told them, look, am I perfect? No. Do I mess up and miss some days? I sure the hell do. But that is my guideline, and for the most part, it keeps me straight. So strengthen your routines and fix whatever you're going through. Like if you're still carrying baggage or anger or resentment, or you still got pain from your last relationship, spend some time fixing that. Just be alone. That's okay too. When I first went through my situation, man, I carried a lot of resentment into all of the dates that I was going on. And I realized I don't need to be out here doing this because I'm not ready. I had to get right. And I learned to enjoy my own company. The first thing I did was I went to a John Mayer concert by myself. One of the best things I ever tried to do or ever did. Went to a few movies by myself. Went for drives by myself. I went hiking by myself. I started reading, and just all of these things I started doing by myself. And I started enjoying myself again without anybody around. The goal isn't isolation forever. The goal is health before connection. Yeah. All of those things I just talked about will help you get right. So when that right connection comes, you're ready. And always, always add God to that list that I just gave you. Because if you do that, I promise you, you will see changes. You will see changes, and they are always for the better. When you're ready again, date with intention. This is where I'm at. When you do step back into dating, move slower. Speak more clear. Walk away sooner when it's not aligned. Don't force sparks. Look for stability. The right connection won't drain you. It will calm you. This is exactly where I'm at right now. I'm moving slower. I'm speaking more clear. I'm making sure my intentions are understood. And I walk away sooner. When I don't feel it, I just walk away. No harm, no foul. But here's the other thing I want to add to that. When you choose to walk away, don't ghost anybody. Just say it. Just say it. Hey, this isn't working out for me. We're not flowing. The vibe isn't there. The vibe it was on the phone, but when we met in person, it just wasn't there. Just be honest about it. I promise you, some people may get upset, but most people will appreciate that. If you're tired of the dating scene, I want you to listen closely. You're not behind. You're not broken, and you're not missing out. You're refining. Sometimes the best move isn't finding someone new. It's finding yourself again without the noise. And when the timing is right, connection won't feel like work. It'll feel like peace. I hope you enjoyed this episode here on the Perfect Mess Podcast. And if you did, please do me a favor. If you're watching on YouTube, hit subscribe, give me a thumbs up, leave a comment, and share this episode. And if you're listening on Apple, Amazon, or Spotify, please follow me, leave a comment, share the episode, and leave a review. I appreciate that. And if you would like to interact with me live and be able to talk to me live, you would do that on TikTok, and you can follow me there at It's Ray Molina. I go live there Monday through Thursday, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. West Coast time. And you can join me when I talk about these episodes live. And when I'm done, I bring everybody up for a panel and we discuss it live. We let people talk. It's like taking phone calls. We let people talk, share their story, or have input. And it's a great time. And I've built a very, very strong community with some wonderful, wonderful people. So I hope you join me Monday through Thursday on TikTok, 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. West Coast time. Follow me at It's Ray Molina. That is also my Instagram. You can check me out there as well. All right. Again, if you're on YouTube, make sure to hit subscribe. All right. And my website is raymolina.com. Please check it out. And yes, I have tons of merchandise there. I would hope that you check it out for me. And if you support, remember, you're supporting me, my sons, and the life I'm trying to build for them. So with that being said, I love you guys. If you would do me a favor, clip whatever information you like on this episode and share it with a friend. And you can do that by hitting the remix button right on YouTube. Okay? So I'm going to close this the way I always close, and that is as so. My life isn't perfect. Oftentimes it is a mess, but for me, it is the perfect mess. I love you guys. God bless you. Please tell the people that you love them, and I will see you on the flip side. Peace.